Hey, what's up everybody? Clayton Jennings here. Men, sit up and pay attention. I hope you will. This video is for you. And I hope that you understand the greatest responsibility that you'll ever have is to be a husband to your wife and a father to your kids. And that's hard in society that tells you to step down. Don't be a leader. You don't even got to be there for them. Well, God says that you do. And Jesus said to love your wife like he loved the church. And he died for the church. And also love your kids. What are you doing? Do you love your kids enough to show them Jesus? Because that's the most important thing that you will ever do. In the New Testament, Jesus ran into a father, and it happened like this. In Matthew chapter 9, verse 18, it said, while he was saying these things to them, behold, a ruler came and knelt before him, saying, my daughter has just died. Come and lay your hand on her, and she will live. Talk about faith. Well, who is this man? His name is Jairus, and he happens to be a ruler of the Jews. Listen, this man has everything. He has power, he has clout, he has esteem, everything you could ever want, but he's lacking. And what is he lacking? He's lacking Jesus. Why? Because his daughter is dying, and he knows the only one that can save her is Jesus Christ. He's got all the power in the world. And he knows Jesus is right down the road. So he could have sent anybody to her, right? He could have sent a servant. He could have sent anybody that worked for him. The guy right down the street. Hey, go get Jesus for me. Yeah, we'll do that, Jairus, because you have power. But no, he steps out on his own. And he walks to Jesus. And it's not enough that he walks to Jesus. He falls on his knees in front of Jesus and cries out to Jesus, just put your hand on my daughter. I got faith enough that you will save her life. Do this for me, please, Jesus. I imagine people looking at him like, Jairus, get up, man. You're embarrassing yourself. You got too much clout to do that. You got a reputation. I don't care, you understand? Because I love my daughter, and I understand he's the only one that can save my daughter. I love her enough to get on my knees in front of Jesus. I love her enough to get up off the couch and walk to Jesus, to grab Jesus and say, help my daughter, to bring him home with me. Now, what about you? Because a lot of you out there, fathers, think it's okay if I just send my kid to Sunday school or down the service down the street, or let him watch a couple YouTube videos of an evangelist that does revivals. It'll be all right. I don't need to ever crack this Bible open and leave my kids in a Bible study at the house because, hey, they'll get it somewhere else. They'll get it at the Christian school that I'm spending all this hard-earned money to send them to. Well, maybe it's time that you step up to the plate. Maybe it's time that you act like Jairus and say, nope, I'm not going to rely on other people to get Jesus to help my kids. I'm going to stand up, I'm going to walk to Jesus, and I'm going to grab him. I'm going to come home and I'm going to open up the Bible. I'm going to gather my kids around and say, as long as you live in my house, we're going to get in the Word and we're going to study together because I love you enough to teach you about Jesus. And some of you out there have kids who are falling into addictions. You've lost kids to suicide. Some of you are this close to losing your kids right now. The only one who can save your kids is Jesus. And you got to stop relying on other people to help them and start grabbing Jesus. And say, here's Jesus. I want to tell you about Jesus. I love you enough to do a Bible study with you. I love you enough to come into your room and pray with you before you go to sleep. I love you enough to grab you before I send you off to school and say, hey, let me pour into you a little bit and tell you about the Jesus that I serve and that I love and that can change your life. Because when your kids get over 18, the world is going to have their hands on them and you won't be there anymore. You have an opportunity now to pour Christ into your kids. Be a Jairus. Go grab Jesus and say, I'm stepping up. And I'm bringing him home with me. And I'm going to lead my wife. And I'm going to lead my kids. And I'm going to show them Jesus. Because it's my responsibility. And I don't care if other people mock it and make fun of it and laugh at it. I'm going to drop on my knees in front of Jesus and say, help my family. And I'll be the first one to bring you home with me. Maybe it's time that you got to start acting like Jesus. Step up to the plate. The time is now. God sees you. And if you step out, he'll make a way for you. Start loving your wife, loving your kids, and be Jesus to them. And it can start right now. Man up. Let's go. I love you all.